Very nice to meet you all. I'm Aive, and I'm the CEO of Concise. And my passion is to create growth. I have been in software and product development for 18 years, and from my very first job, growth has been my thing. Now I would like to share a few tips on how we do this product development and how it actually then guarantees the growth. Super agile. Yes, who has heard of that word before? Raise your hand. Yes, three, three people. Okay. Then we came up with this word almost 2 years ago because we felt that such word didn't exist before, and we wanted to call our approach something. What it means? Yes, it includes the agile approach, so we have all the elements from agile, but at the same time we have also added the technical part, meaning that not only we choose the best technology for this specific place, but we also think of how to build the architecture so that it's scalable. We have heard so much from startups or companies where they say that, okay, yes, we have developed for a year, but now we need to scale, but it's so difficult because of the way we have built up the architecture. But we have really put effort into building software the way that it is easy to scale later on, which is important if you want to get to growth. Growth hacking, I will get to that a bit later on. Minimal time to market. For us, every code that is written by the developer and has not reached the end user yet does not bring value. It starts to bring value when it gets to the end user. And so we try to get it as quickly as possible. We do so that every developer's commit goes directly to production and directly to the end user. Facebook does the same way, because that's how you learn from the end users as quickly as possible, and your success actually grows exponentially. So, but for that you need correct processes and you need correct technology. And this is what we have worked with a lot as well. Direct communication. We don't have system analysts. We don't have project managers. We do it a bit differently. Our development teams, every developer speaks directly to business. And I have a good story to share. As I mentioned before, sometimes we also do development for corporates. And last year at Startup Week, Swedbank was at our presentation, and they came to us later on and said that they want super agile. We were like, okay, well, yeah, you are a bit bureaucratic, but let's try, let's see. And in May we started, and with 2 developers there, and the aim was not, it was not body leasing, but it was actually, the aim was to change their processes more super agile. And 2 weeks ago, I had a feedback call from them. It was 30 minutes of direct praise, and I was like, wow, that doesn't happen often in Estonia. And what Swedbank said was that the business people are so happy because they feel that the developers really get what they need, and they do it so quickly, and the business people always know like how far it is and what are the blockers, and so the communication is really working. Because a lot what happens is that if we play the telephone game, then a lot gets lost, and every information that gets lost is quite high cost. So yes, direct communication and business mindset for all developers. Developers are actually pretty smart people. They are creative, and if they know what is their business aim, then they can build much better product. We have a tool. It's called Super Agile Score, and we use this tool internally in our teams. But also we have done workshops with this tool to other companies. So you can use it also for audits, sometimes maybe for due diligence, why not? And yes, this tools helps us to get this feeling like where this team or this startup is in this super agile way of working. Growth hacking. Who has heard the word growth hacking? Raise your hand. A lot more, yeah, half. So very shortly, I would say that I have been dealing with growth hacking for a year and a half, and I think that quite common is that people misuse the word, because growth hacking is often used for just a modern word for marketer, but it's really not. Growth hacking always includes development. So what it means is basically that marketing and developers work closely together to achieve the growth goals. And yes, growth hacking in general, it's nothing completely new, but it has put it into a nice angle and put together this end user monitoring, marketing and development in a way that it helps to bring more growth. And this is what we all want, don't we? And finally, I would like to share 3 common mistakes I have seen in startups. First of all, startups, they tend to fall in love with their product, and they really feel that they know exactly what the end users want. But that's really not how it is. We can always assume, but assuming is quite expensive, and that's why it is important to really validate what is needed. Another thing, common mistake is that, yes, we talk about measuring, we talk about that it's important, but you should also plan measuring ahead, because if you don't plan it ahead, what you want to measure later on, then you might not have the data you want later on. So it's always important to understand what you want to measure, and then plan it and get the data to make the conclusions later on. And the third thing I want to point out is that sometimes we forget what is our Northern Star. In growth hacking, yes, this most important business goal we have at the moment, it's called the Northern Star, because everyone is following that star. And I believe that is something that should be shared to investors, to founders, but also, again, every developer of the product should also know what is the most important business goal at the moment. I will bring 2 very simple examples that, for example, what Facebook wants. Facebook wants to measure how much time you spend there, because that's important for them. They want you to spend half of your day in Facebook scrolling around. This is their business model. But Airbnb doesn't care how much time you spend there. They want you to make a booking. So they measure the amount of bookings, while Facebook is measuring how much time their end users are spending in the product. And yeah, finally, if you need any kind of cooperation from us, we are also considering being investing partners, meaning that someone is a lead investor and we can invest our time for equity, so we are considering that as well. But we also offer technical and process due diligence, MVP workshops, growth hacking, CTO as a service, software development teams, and different kinds of mentoring. Then, yeah, again, contact us. And now I would like you to take a short moment and think of maybe 2 things to remember from this presentation. 2 things you can do differently tomorrow, or that you want to take with you. If any of you wants to share, that's okay, but you can do it silently as well. Okay, and then this is it from me. I want to wish you all to dream big and start small. Thank you.
Thank you, Aive.